Good afternoon, everyone. We're with Professor Clive Smallman, and Clive is the Dean of the University of Western Sydney Business School. We're here to talk about the new premises that Clive and the Business School have moved in here in central Parramatta, and ask him a few questions about what this means for the future of education, business education in the region, and some of the thinking behind that move. So Clive, you've just set up this beautiful campus here in Parramatta. What was the motivation to move into the CBD of Parramatta from your traditional campus out in Rydalmere?
Well, it was really a combination of really wanting to be closer to the action in terms of the way that Parramatta is developing as a city, but also as a means of expanding the capacity of the Parramatta South campus, which is where we're currently located. So our undergraduate and postgraduate were both located at the Parramatta South campus down at Rydalmere, which is an excellent facility and well appointed. But there was the need to look at our provision for postgraduate students, both in the School of Business and indeed in other schools in the university, the School of Computing, Engineering and Mathematics, the School of Social Science and Psychology, and the School of Humanities and Communication Arts. And that was the decision, really, was to try and get a more effective presence in the city to serve part of the population that we serve more broadly.
So when you say part of the population, are you doing that from a strategic marketing point of view? You're mainly business, but you see this as an environment where your students will end up working, or there is some other strategic?
Certainly a lot of our students, our domestic students, we hope would end up working in the Greater Western Sydney area. We also have international students, some of whom will also end up working in Greater Western Sydney. We've got some great success stories around students from all over the world, really, coming in and taking up positions across Western Sydney.
And this move to shop fronts for universities, it really is a total move away from the traditional campuses. Do you see that as a way forward for universities generally as an industry?
I think that it's certainly one of the ways forward. I think having a presence in a city, particularly in a central business district such as this is absolutely vital, particularly with business schools. I think that you need to be in contact with business in order to be able to really be taken quite seriously. I think that we will see increasingly campuses being more in touch with the populations that they serve. But at the same time, these are also going to act as a hub for learning in remote locations. So one of the plans for this campus is to actually have lectures taking place here and then being relayed to other parts of Western Sydney as a means of widening our outreach within the region, which is important, and it's part of this university's charter.
When you say remote learning, how do you think that's heading in towards versus face-to-face teaching, a whole debate around that at the moment?
Well, of course, it already occurs in many of our regional universities, Charles Sturt University and also other universities in Queensland, because of the nature of their location, already take that forward. It's an important step for us. It's very difficult to keep building and building and building in order to serve populations. So definitely with the advance, with the national broadband network, with the advance of IT, and with everything moving in the direction it's going, it's a natural step. And it's something certainly this university is taking very seriously. We've made a major investment in technology and blended learning over the last 18 months, for example. So it's a good step for us to take, very positive.
Yep. And the feeling among your staff and your colleagues about being in this great location, is it...
I have to say, very, very positive indeed. They came to see us before this area that we're studying now was actually open. They came to look at our upper floors. They were very enthusiastic to see the location, very enthusiastic to see the quality of the build. There's been a great deal of effort put in a very short space of time. I have to say, I'll probably pay compliment to our Capital Works and Facilities people for making this happen so quickly.
Absolutely, it's great.
And so my colleagues were really very pleasantly, not surprised, but entertained to see that it was such a good campus. And I think once they see this ground floor, which is open today, as we're talking, I think they'll be even more enthusiastic.
And tell me, Clive, about in regards to improving the university's performance or your business school's performance, attracting more students, making the experience more memorable, more rounded education experience for them, so making you more marketable. Do you see this fitting in with all that agenda?
Absolutely, because one of the issues for the whole university, but particularly the business school, is the necessity to engage very closely with business, with local government, and to act as far as possible in partnership. We, for example, have signed a memorandum of understanding with Parramatta City Council, which partly relates to our entering this facility. And it's about being able to stay in touch much more closely with our partners and to indeed deepen those partnerships in terms of finding, for example, internships for our students. Because I think particularly in business, but also in areas like humanities, communication, arts, social science, there needs to be some embedded real practice, if you like, within those degree streams. So that's part of that further commitment that the university are making.
Fantastic. Well, thanks. Thank you very much for your time today, and we wish you all the best with your new venture here. And this is a beautiful space. So thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.